What opens the locked places inside us? Hi, this is Dale Byron with Heart Work Podcast. That's our question for this week. What opens the locked places inside us? Because I have observed in my own life, from the inside out actually, that trying to think our way into a better life, into some kind of transformation, can occur for years while some deeper part of ourselves remains quietly locked. So that's our theme for this week that we want to explore. And it brings us to this week's poem, Jiggling the Heart's Key, Jiggling the Heart's Key. And it goes like this. Everyone must discover their own heaven. Everyone must discover their own heaven. For you, it's always been the color blue. And you love to speed too, but just enough. Not that dangerous kind that often kills, but just reckless enough to thrill. Do you know the feeling? Do you know the feeling that a jiggling key gives when that old rusted lock suddenly opens? It's only one part thinking. It's only one part thinking. The heart is the best at jiggling. And it works pretty well too, even when both lock and heart are broken. So that poem that I wrote some time ago came to me, and I realized only after writing that I was writing about the heart's intelligence, not sentimentality, not impulsiveness, but rather the mysterious human capacity to intuit, to risk, to feel, to trust, even after disappointment. And most importantly, what came to me was that healing often begins before full understanding arrives. And for someone who is very much oriented toward thinking and strategies and all of that, maybe you relate. This was a kind of an epiphany for me, that healing often begins before full understanding arrives. It's not that we don't want to understand, but that staying in that intellectual loop can actually keep us from healing. I think the practical wisdom that we want to talk about today with this piece and this theme is that we are taught generally to optimize, to strategize, to calculate, to protect. It's not that the intellect is not incredibly important to human life. It's just that we've overemphasized. As someone once said, there was a palace coup and the strategic mind won out over the heart. And so one of the beautiful, wonderful things that I've always been attracted to poetry about is the fact that the good poems fly up underneath the kind of radar screen of the strategic mind and go directly to the heart, which is why they can be so powerful. So again, we're taught to optimize, strategize, calculate, and protect. But our deepest breakthroughs, have you noticed, often come through something far less mechanical, things like curiosity, tenderness, courage, core courage to know one's heart, courage, longing, wonder, and emotional honesty. And the poem, I think, what I realized after this poem came out is that it's actually suggesting, the poem, I quote unquote wrote the poem, but then the poem turned around and surprised me by saying that the heart possesses forms of wisdom that are not purely strategic, and that the mind cannot access directly. Now, maybe the line to carry from the poem for this week is, it works pretty well too, even when both lock and heart are broken. You know, I think that line can remind us how resilient human beings can be, how much skill humans can have even after trauma, so that we can begin to unlock, use these keys, jiggle the key of the heart, and do so even when that heart is broken, and even when that lock is broken, and even when that lock is rusted and broken. It's only one part thinking. The heart is the best at jiggling. And it works pretty well too. Even when both lock and heart are broken. Thank you so much for your listening ear. Until next time and next poem, take good care of yourself, and if you can, someone else.